Vietnam, a land of timeless beauty and rich history. Just the name makes you think of bright green rice fields, busy cities, and the harmonious blend of tradition and modernity, and old temples hidden in mist, standing as silent witnesses to centuries of history. From the tall mountains in the north to the Mekong Delta in the south, each region tells its own unique story. Vietnam is a land of exciting differences and beauty that lasts, where every corner offers a new adventure. But Vietnam is more than just a pretty place. It's a living, breathing tapestry of life. It has a spirit, made strong by history and the strength of its people, who have faced countless challenges with resilience. For many years, Vietnam has been a place where cultures meet, a mix of people, traditions, and stories, and a place where empires fought, leaving behind a rich tapestry of historical landmarks. This exciting past can be seen in Vietnam's traditions, which are still very much alive today. Its many kinds of food, each dish telling a story of its own, and the friendly smiles of its people, who welcome visitors with open arms. Come with me as we explore Vietnam, a land where the past and present coexist in harmony, learning about its old stories, its modern wonders, and the innovations that are shaping its future, and the strong spirit of its people, who are the true heart of this nation. From the moment you arrive in Vietnam, you are enveloped in a sensory feast. It's like a party for your senses. The vibrant colors, the lively sounds, and the rich aromas all come together to create an unforgettable experience. The smell of incense comes from old temples, filling the air with a sense of spirituality and reverence, and the smell of street food makes you hungry, tempting you with its delicious and diverse flavors. The sounds of busy markets mix with the beeping of motorbikes, creating a symphony of urban life, making a noisy but exciting sound that is uniquely Vietnamese. But even with all the noise, there are moments of tranquility. There's a sense of calm, found in the serene river scenes and tranquil gardens, a rhythm to life that's both exciting and peaceful, a perfect balance that defines the essence of Vietnam. As you travel through Vietnam, you'll notice something interesting. The name Nguyen is everywhere. From bustling cities to quiet villages, the name appears on street signs, shop fronts, and even in casual conversations. It's almost as if the entire nation shares this common thread. It seems like everyone you meet is named Nguyen. This phenomenon isn't just a coincidence or a simple naming trend. It has deep historical roots that trace back to a significant period in Vietnam's history. This isn't a mistake. The Nguyen dynasty, which ruled Vietnam for over 140 years, changed the country, and the biggest sign of this is how many people have the royal last name. The dynasty's influence was so profound that it left an indelible mark on the nation's identity. The Nguyen dynasty came to power in the early 1800s, uniting Vietnam after many years of fighting within the country. This unification was a monumental achievement, bringing together diverse regions and cultures under a single rule. When they ruled, Vietnam was mostly peaceful and became richer. The stability provided by the Nguyen emperors allowed for economic growth and development, transforming Vietnam into a more prosperous nation. The Nguyen emperors loved art and learning, and Vietnamese culture grew stronger during their rule. They patronized the arts, built magnificent temples and pagodas, and encouraged the flourishing of traditional Vietnamese art and calligraphy. They also made Vietnam bigger by taking over the Mekong Delta and making the country's borders what they are today. This expansion was crucial in shaping the modern geographical boundaries of Vietnam. But the Nguyen dynasty also started Vietnam's long and difficult relationship with the West. Their initial interactions with Western powers set the stage for future conflicts and colonial ambitions. In the middle of the 1800s, France invaded Vietnam, and Vietnam became a colony for almost 100 years. This period of colonization had a profound impact on Vietnamese society, culture, and politics. The Nguyen emperors became like puppets, and Vietnam became part of French Indochina. Despite their diminished power, the legacy of the Nguyen dynasty continued to influence the nation's identity and its people's sense of heritage. Long before the Nguyen dynasty, even before written history, the land we now know as Vietnam was a place of mystery and legend. The Vietnamese people told stories of gods, dragons, and heroes, passing these tales down through generations. These stories were not just entertainment. They were a way to teach values, history, and the essence of their culture. These stories, told from parents to children, give us a look into the heart of ancient Vietnam, showing us what people believed, what was important to them, and their strong connection to the land. The tales were often set against the backdrop of Vietnam's stunning landscapes, from the lush rice fields to the majestic mountains. One story tells us about Loc Long Quan, the dragon king of the sea, and Ao Co, the fairy queen of the mountains. Their union was a symbol of harmony between the different elements of nature. They had 100 children, who became the ancestors of the Vietnamese people. This story is a cornerstone of Vietnamese identity, emphasizing the unity and shared heritage of the people. This story shows how the Vietnamese believe they come from both the mountains and the sea. It reflects the geographical diversity of Vietnam and the deep connection the people have with their environment. Another famous story is about Le Loi, a farmer in the 1400s who led a fight against the Ming dynasty from China. Le Loi's tale is one of bravery and resilience, showcasing the indomitable spirit of the Vietnamese people. The story says, Le Loi got a magic sword from the Golden Turtle God, which helped him defeat the Chinese and make Vietnam free again. This magical element adds a layer of mysticism to the historical narrative, blending fact with folklore. Today, people see Le Loi as a hero, a symbol of Vietnam's strong spirit, and its long history of fighting against other countries. His legacy is celebrated in monuments and stories, reminding the Vietnamese of their rich cultural heritage and the enduring power of their legends. Section 4. From Courtship to Ceremony, a tapestry of wedding traditions. Love and marriage are important everywhere, but in Vietnam, they're celebrated with special traditions, symbols, and happy parties. From the first meetings to the big wedding ceremonies, Vietnamese weddings are exciting and show the country's rich culture and the importance of family and community. A long time ago in Vietnam, families often arranged marriages, and matchmakers helped find good partners for their children. The groom's family would visit the bride's family with gifts. If the bride's family said yes, the families would talk to astrologers to pick a lucky day for the wedding. Vietnamese wedding ceremonies are different for different groups of people, but they usually have special actions that show the two families joining together. The ceremony often starts with the groom and his family going to the bride's house, where he asks to marry her. Then they exchange promises and gifts, and there's a big party with lots of traditional Vietnamese food. Section 5. Vietnam's natural wonders, caves, bays, and breathtaking beauty. Vietnam's nature is as interesting as its culture. From the tall Phan Mountain, the highest in Southeast Asia, to the green waters of Ha Long Bay, Vietnam is full of amazing places that will surprise you. Deep inside Phong Nha, Ca Bang National Park is Sun Dung Cave, the biggest cave in the world. A local farmer found it in 1991. Sun Dung is an underground world of huge caves, tall stalagmites, and even its own jungle. Exploring Sun Dung is like going to another planet, a place that shows the power and beauty of nature. You haven't really seen Vietnam until you visit Ha Long Bay. This UNESCO World Heritage Site has thousands of limestone islands coming up from the green water, like a painting. A story says a dragon made the islands when it flew down into the sea, its tail making the amazing shapes.